We're telling tales of the music we grew up with. That's the 70s plus more. So crank it up. Let's set the tone. It's more than music. It's the life we own. Take it away, fat man.
Well, welcome to 2026 to another exciting episode of Mick and the Fat Man. That's right, folks. It's season 6, episode number 1. And we would like to welcome you all back to another exciting year of Mick and the Fat Man. We're into our 6th year, so we've done 5 exciting years.
We've done 6 years or 5 years already.
5 years.
I don't remember one of them.
I don't remember last week. But we're back, and as always, well, not always, but the last few years has been the tradition where we release our first episode on Australia Day. So happy Australia Day to all the Australians across the world who will be celebrating the wonders that is Australia.
And those in Frankfurt.
And hopefully you're Australian in Frankfurt and you'll be having a Foster's. Do they still have? Does Foster's?
Does anybody ever drink Foster's?
I don't believe so.
I think they market it in the world, around the world, and nobody in Australia drinks it.
Can't
stand it.
I don't think you can even buy it.
Really?
I don't think you can buy Foster's in Australia.
No, I've never seen any place selling it because it's awful.
It's awful. I think it's just VB repackaged, is it? I don't know.
Oh, it's not even. I mean, VB's drinkable.
If you go to Melbourne, you get Melbourne Bitter, VB, bunch of other bits and pieces. But I don't know. Foster's is just the Barry McKenzie beer.
It's a joke beer.
So, look, but it may be the only Australian beer you can get if you're overseas. I don't know. As we say, I don't know whether they still make it. But have an Australian beer today. Enjoy yourself and listen to a couple of good Aussie bands.
What a fine idea.
We could give you a few ideas. Midnight Oil, Aussie Crawl.
The Angels.
And finish off with The Angels.
Yes.
Great. I'll move on. So, Mick, I've got a bit of feedback from last year. So, friend of the show, TMB, we were talking about bags last year. So, we were talking about the Globite bag. We're talking about how Pete had a Globite bag backpack in Queensland. It must have been a Queensland thing. A hard backpack bag. We only were familiar with the ones that you carry by your side. And as everybody would know, that we have since purchased a glorious Globite travel bag with luxurious interior. And I said that, we started talking about other types of bags, and I went the other bag that goes over your shoulder with the thing, and you were looking at me as if I had 3 heads. I was looking at myself as if I had 3 heads because I couldn't explain what the fuck it was. And
What's that 2 heads looking at the other
all
one?
just a mess. And I got a message from TMB just saying, messenger bag is what it was. I've since bought my messenger bag from Amazon. Your mate Jeff sent it to, personally wrapped it, sent it to me.
Via space?
Oh, no, he was in Venice. Just
buying it.
Popping around on a boat with the missus, having a bit of Bischetto Florentini, I think, or something like that. And so I said, Jeff, can you send me one of those bags, the ones with the thing? And he said, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. And after a while I said, messenger. He goes, not a problem. Here's a nice one, calico, beautiful. So I've got the messenger bag. I'll show it to you. What do you think? Looks good?
Mate, I want one too.
Yeah, I'll get you one.
Given that we've started off the season talking about TMB, I think we should give her credit for another thing.
Mm.
She sent you some wonderful self-designed merch, which is our podcast picture, and on the front, and our names on the back.
It's going to be exciting because
I'm excited.
Mick and the Fat Man are in fact returning to Bali in the not too distant future, and we will be sporting the T-shirts as created by TMB with Mick and the Fat Man on the back. So we will be sitting at Mick's Bar on 66 Beach. 66, isn't it?
Legian.
Legian Beach, whatever. On Legian Beach. at Mick's Bar, he's got personally autographed chairs for us, which I think from memory they were brand new chairs, and he even, I think from memory, he opened up a brand new texter,
New textures and chairs.
and wrote on the back said Mick and the Fat Man, and we'll be sitting there with our Mick and the Fat Man personalised shirts with a logo of the podcast on the front as well. Does it get any better?
International doesn't get any better.
And just quietly, I'm looking up, and I can see that what the time is right now. It's saying it's 11:30, and I'm reading that off the magical Mick and the Fat Man clock.
It's awesome, isn't it?
It is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. There's Mick there with his Joy Division T-shirt, pretty controversial T-shirt, just quietly.
Well, Albo sent that to me after he heard our podcast.
After he got slammed about having a Joy Division T-shirt, he thought, I better get rid of this.
Yeah.
So he got rid of the Joy Division T-shirt, popped it in the mail, sent it over to you.
Yep.
I was able to get Susan Lee sent me the Abbey Road T-shirt.
Well, she would.
She said, "Oh, that's safe."
Yeah, she doesn't need anything.
When I told her there was a song called "Come Together" on there, she got a little bit worried.
Freaked out. Yeah. Well, and hence the split with the country party,
Whatever
they are, the national party.
Yeah. Once they heard that, they thought, "That's it."
Yeah,
it sounds like hate speech to me. That's what they said.
I'm going to take my gun and go out on the farm and
Start
shoot a
shooting
dingo
shit.
or something.
I'm shooting shit. Anyway, Mick, so, yeah, we've got a bit of Mick and the Fat Man merch. We're going to get a bit more, and so we'll have T-shirts and... and I've got a fridge magnet as well.
That's the go, yes.
Got the fridge magnet, got the T-shirt, got the clock. So we're going to do a bit of work, probably bunker down in the design department, the Mick and the Fat Man design department, and... get a couple of experts in. Yeah, we got a few. a couple of design people that we got in the back shed.
People who know what they're doing.
People who know what they're doing. Yeah, we're no longer just a Mick and the Fat Man podcast. We're a bit of an organisation now.
Right.
So we'll go to the creative department and have a chat to them.
See what they've got to say.
Leave it in the experts' hands.
So if you've been waiting all this time for a reason to contact us, now you've found one. Let us know if you're interested in merch, what you'd like, and so on and so on.
And we can customise it for you.
We can indeed. We can even put your name on it.
Yeah. We could.
Should you wish to be identified with it?
You could become a part of the Mick and the Fat Man army.
It's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
Does indeed.
That's very original.
Very original indeed. So, yeah, the Mick and the Fat Man army... Well, maybe next year in Bali we could have a team.
Maybe
people.
Maybe next year, if we're going to have an army, we could invade Greenland.
Yeah, there's an idea.
Do the podcast from Greenland,
or we could just take over a couple of little islands in Indonesia.
That's a good
just
idea.
for ourselves.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Greenland's a bit big. I don't think we need all the Greenland. It's a bit cold.
Very cold. Yeah.
So let's go somewhere a bit warmer.
A good idea.
The Gili Islands, they're only relatively small. We could have one of those.
Just take it, yeah.
Put a little bamboo shack on it. Happy days.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need it for our podcast security.
That's it. We need security and for to make sure that we have the resources that we need to carry forward. Set up our oil rig on Gili Island. Start your mining uranium.
That's a wonderful phrase that means absolutely nothing.
Yes. Anyway, so, Mick, let's just go back to the bag, the beautiful Globite travel bag.
Yes. Yeah.
If you could reach over and just grab that, if you don't mind, if you can just put it up on the table there and just unlock that. Just put it up there again one more time. If you just put it there, that's it. Now it's there. Now you can start unlocking that. And get this. Where did you put the zippers on?
They've been there all along.
You've just been using the locks.
I've just been using the locks, yeah.
Ah, right.
That's why we had so much trouble getting things out of it.
I wonder why you had the knife. Stanley knife. I thought you were bloody hijacking a jet or something.
Yeah. So, okay, so there it is.
All right, there we go. What do you got in there, mate? What do you got for us?
To start us off, in whatever this year is, 2026.
26.
How frightening. I thought we might talk about supergroups.
And that's fitting. That's sort of like welcome us into the new year with super duper supergroups.
Something like that indeed.
Yeah, okay, that sounds exciting. That does sound very exciting indeed. Well, I'm just going to move straight on to 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. And as I've said before, I randomly open the book up and, just choose whatever's in front of me. But this time I've been deliberate. I have searched the index. I went to the index.
Ooh.
I know, crazy. And found a supergroup.
Those reading lessons have really paid off, haven't
Oh, gee, they've been a bonus. I've just got to get the spelling.
they? Oh, not too much all at once.
Yeah. Just sort of try and fix up the dyslexia a little bit. Anyway, so I searched for a band by the name of Cream.
I've heard of them.
Supergroup. Disraeli Gears. Page 110. Way back at page 110. Producer Felix Pappalardi. Cover art Martin Sharp. Running time 33 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, this was, I will say it right here and now, this was the first supergroup. Done. I've said it. And just for your interest, I had a little bit of a look, and the producer, Mr. Pappalardi, bit of an infamous chap. Well, kind of, not really, just unfamous because his wife shot him. That's his claim to fame. In 1983, she pulled out the Derringer, and which he had just given to her for a birthday or whatever as a gift, because every woman needs a gun, because happiness,
It's a warm one.
is a warm gun.
Yes.
So she had the Derringer, and so she shot him. Fair enough, I say.
It's like, bang, that one's for Sunshine of Your Love.
That's
Bang,
right.
that one's for Tales of Brave Ulysses.
That's right. And that bloody Jack Bruce, cop another one.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, she was subsequently charged with second-degree murder and was eventually found guilty of the lesser criminal charge of criminally negligent homicide. 2013 rocks along, and she was found dead by her landlord in a Mexican village, and she was cremated with her 3 cats. So the poor little pussycats were euthanized.
But she was clearly crazy then.
Euthanized, cremated with her and chucked in the ground with her. So bye-bye pussy. So there you go. Now, also, we'll just backtrack there. The other thing that was there that I mentioned was Martin Sharp, sort of the pop art icon of Australia, was over in England, and he created the cover for the album as well. So it's sort of that crazy pop art, psychedelic sort of look. And he was sort of famous for a bunch of rock music. So he did Dylan and Hendrix and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's got a big workbook of stuff. And if my memory serves me correctly, he was involved in the campaign to say, in Sydney has an amusement park right on the harbour, near the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, called Luna Park, which has a huge laughing face, 40 metres high or some such. And there was proposal in the interests of modernisation to get rid of it. And he led the charge to keep it as an icon of Sydney, and it stands to this day.
It's like when you build a house next to an airport, and you go, hold on, what's all this airport noise doing here? Well, they built a block of flats right behind the big ride, the Big Dipper.
Wild Mouse.
Yeah, one of those, the Big Dipper, whatever it was called. And everybody's going, hold on. Someone built a block of flats that we bought, and now there's this ride right in front. Where did that ride come from? Oh, from the 1930s. Never mind. It needs to go. So, so there was a big campaign to try and shut down the Luna Park, and it still lives today. So when you come to Australia, fly into Sydney. We've got the perfect itinerary. You can email us if you like. The perfect itinerary. Fly into Sydney, hop on the train, catch the train into Central, change trains, get down to Circular Quay, hop on the ferry, straight across to Luna Park, turn around. What do you see?
The bridge.
Harbour Bridge. And right underneath it, Opera House. Take a photo, hop back on the ferry, back into town, onto the plane, off you go to Ayers Rock. Happy days.
Yeah.
Uluru. Yeah. Sorry.
24, 48 hours, you've got all of your postcard stuff.
Your Lara for the day, you can be photographing the Uluru Rock at sunset, spend the night there, straight to the Barrier Reef, do a quick dive in the Barrier Reef, feed a shark, piss off, you're out of here. Happy days.
There's a bit of that shark feeding going on at the moment.
Had a bit of rain around, brought a bit of the bait fish in, and bull sharks decided, yum, yum. What's that? That's a fish. What's that? Man's leg. Yum, yum, yum.
And I'm sure that's
Chompy.
the mental process that went through the bull shark too.
Yeah, chompy. A few people have been chomped. One guy got away and he got his board bitten, so lucky days. But I think 4 people have been attacked by sharks in the most recent days.
4 in 48 hours or
Something along those lines. Mick, sorry. There's an album here somewhere. Tell me about Disraeli Gears, mate.
Mate, Disraeli Gears, I love this album. This is really, really good. You can just put it on any time, morning, afternoon, evening. It's a perfect time-sensitive album, as if we care about time-sensitive. I do. I get into trouble in the mornings if I put on Nick Cave or somebody like that.
No, but you put on, like, bloody Angels, full ball.
The Angels is fine. It's when I put on Husker Du or Bob Mould that I get into a bit of a problem. But
the idea is you're supposed to start off the morning with slightly more a quieter palette of music.
Yeah, I've had to move towards Neil Young and Crowded House,
and then you work your way up towards the later at night. Go back down again around dinner time, something a little bit quieter, and then finish off the evening in a little bit of Chopin.
Fantastic.
That's
I
just
never knew all these years, and I never knew that.
You should have come to me. You could have sent me an email, mickofthefatman at gmail.com. Send me an email, and I would have given you Jeff's playlist.
Oh, that would have helped. That would have helped.
Harmonious Marriage.
Ah, nice work. Playing Disraeli Gears, nonetheless, is perfect, and it would fit perfectly onto your playlist. It's an awesome album. It really is. It was well received on release, and over time, it's obviously become accepted as a classic.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's the Rolling Stone 500 Greatest Albums of All Time have got it listed in their 2020 edition of that list at number 170.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a shame because, as we've discussed before, as younger people become aware of that list, they vote all this newfangled music on, and all the really good stuff gets voted down the numbers.
Long as Bad Bunny's up there, I'm happy.
You and your bloody Bad Bunny. The album itself, it's a trio, which is... There's not a lot of bands have been able to make a trio really good, but those that have, Nirvana, for instance, is a trio, and they're the loudest band I've ever seen. Absolutely.
I think it really does come down to a solid rhythm section to be able to maintain, and someone like Jack Bruce and
Ginger
Baker together, they're kind of an orchestra all by themselves, aren't they?
Very loud rhythmic orchestra.
Plenty of scope for Clapton to do whatever he damn well likes.
Absolutely, yeah. And he did. Yeah. Look, it was produced by Pappalardi, as you've told us in such explicit detail, and it was engineered by a guy by the name of Tom Dowd, who became an industry staple through the 70s, producing lots and lots of albums, including more of Clapton's stuff.
Okay.
He was the producer of Layla. Yep. And then went on to do Clapton's first solo album of 461 Ocean Boulevard, which was his comeback album, and we'll talk some other time about Clapton's drug problems around this album and around the end of the 60s, early 70s.
Okay.
But the album was recorded very quickly. It only took 3.5 days to record this album, and a little bit different to Pink Floyd taking months.
A little bit different.
and Yes taking... Have they finished one yet?
Yeah.
Okay,
they did a live one.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah. Well, they had to because everyone had to go home.
Yeah. I've had enough.
Yeah. So 3.5 days to record it. They wanted to do it quickly to get that fresh feel.
Yep.
And I think they've achieved that. I still love this album. Anytime I love hearing it. Look, but probably the real reason for the truncated recording time is that their visas US visas expired the evening that they finished. So, come on, guys, get the last bit down, will you? We've got a plane to catch. Look, Ahmet Ertegun, he of
Ahmed fame.
Yeah, well, the head of Atlantic Records. Yeah. We've discussed Ahmet's musical appreciation before. He was the guy who went on to question Peter Gabriel's sanity after hearing Melt. He wondered whether Gabriel was having troubles in the brain caper, but he didn't like the psychedelic hogwash of Sunshine of Your Love.
Fair enough. Because, I mean, it's a shit album, so, Armit was right.
Yeah.
But, they obviously
Just goes to
produced
show,
it
doesn't
anyway.
it? Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Look, but Booker T. Jones of Booker T. and the MGs and Otis Redding, minor performers of the time, personally intervened to convince him to leave the record alone and leave Sunshine of Your Love on it. Thank God they did too.
Yeah, fantastic.
He also in another exposition of his musical recording wisdom, he didn't like the fact that the vocals were shared between Bruce and Clapton, because he saw Clapton as the band leader, and the band leader should sing. Now, if that's not a fairly outdated attitude, even for the 1960s, I don't know what is. But there you go.
What's he do with it? Like the ink spots or those sorts of people. He had those.
Would have had trouble.
Would have had terrible trouble, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, this album contains some really wonderful albums. Sunshine of Your Love, as I've already mentioned, which is really, it's a classic.
Classic riff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And you can hear Bruce and Clapton playing in and around each other in that riff. That's really, really good. Tales of Brave Ulysses. I do love it. I can see that's a bit psychedelic.
Oh, Strange Brew, a bit trippy.
Strange Brew,
bit trippy.
It is, but what an absolutely marvellous song. Yeah, marvellous song.
Look, I think the thing with the album, you've got the sort of the harder edge of rock, and also a little bit psychedelic, trippy sort of stuff in there as well.
I think so, yeah, and not just here's one and here's the other. They're sort of intertwined. I remember back in school, which is a long time ago these days.
I don't.
Yeah. We used to have a music teacher who was really good, and instead of just teaching us to play recorders, which in a boys' school would have been a total bloody waste of time.
And wouldn't you love your parents to come and see everybody in the master recorder band at school?
It would have been
fantastic.
He used to do lessons a bit like we do our shows. He'd play a song and tell us about the band, or he'd tell us about features in a song and then play some music that illustrated those particular features. And he played Sunshine of Your Love. And I recall that he told us, this is one of the first musical facts that I can recall grasping.
Right.
He told us that it was one of the, if not the, first songs to appear without a middle eight.
Is that right?
It is, yeah. I think that's fascinating.
Why haven't you brought this out before, Mick? I can't believe it.
I don't know. It's because we haven't talked about Disraeli Gears.
You know what? We should do a whole show about songs with missing middle eights.
Well, once you get the first one, it's a bit of a list after that. It's a bit of a repetition, isn't it?
It'd be great.
Yeah. And this song also doesn't have a middle eight. And this one here doesn't have a chorus. There are songs without a chorus.
We could do a whole year on that. Just
let's not.
Episodes 1 to 26.
2026 is going to be a long year, folks. So overall, great album. Nice pick, Jeff. Nice one to start the year, and a supergroup, which is rather topical.
Supergroup, first supergroup ever.
Yep.
So let's just move on, and why don't you take us through a little bit of an intro to supergroups?
Okay, mate, I can do that. Look, a supergroup is a group formed by a bunch of musicians who've already been successful in one or more other groups. It's not a band that's formed by someone who was in a big successful group who went on to form another band. And I'll use examples there. Dave Grohl, who was in Nirvana and then went on and formed the Foo Fighters, very successful. McCartney. Paul, for those who haven't heard of him.
Oh yeah, Paul. Sorry.
He was in a band called the Beatles in the 60s, and he went on and formed Wings and did a whole lot of solo work as well. So, but again, he's not a supergroup. He may be super in that group, but he's not. But his band is not a supergroup because it's not a bunch of people individually successful.
But Linda was a photographer.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So if it was a photography group, it would have been a supergroup of photographers.
Or a tambourine playing group.
Yeah. It's quite artistic.
That's right.
Anyway, sorry.
Thank you for that.
No, I'm just helping out as much as I can.
Well, of course.
Just thought I'd put you off.
You've done it extremely well. It's going to be a long year, folks, so tune in and see what else he does. Sometimes supergroups hinge around, or sometimes groups in any of these categories hinge around the ego of the leader, often the singer, who comes to believe that he's far more talented than the rest of the band. And a good example is Cockney Rebel, who we talked about last year, where the leader, Steve Harley, came to believe that the rest of the band were passengers, trading on his superior musical skill, and he wasn't afraid to tell the world of his views.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. But we're not going to talk about Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. But if you're interested, there is an episode.
Good episode too.
It's a good. We enjoyed it.
He's it was an interesting character, wasn't he?
He was very interesting character, egotistical but interesting as well.
Yeah.
And the playlist was really good too. Supergroup. The word sounds appealing, doesn't it? Great many of the bands that we consider as supergroups got together because they'd come into each other's orbit and said, "Hey, we can probably make some really good music here." We're not talking about bands where an enthusiastic manager or an enthusiastic record company decided to pull a bunch of people together, like most of the boy bands.
Yeah, Monkeys.
The Monkeys is a good example. What's it?
I suppose you could say Mike Nesmith was...
Mike Nesmith, very limited level of success, and Mickey Dolenz was in Jungle Boy, but that doesn't really count as...
He was in... Wasn't he in... Circus Boy.
Circus Boy, yes.
Circus Boy.
Circus Boy, Jungle Boy, both got elephants in them.
Oh, he was in that elephant show.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one, yeah. So we're not paying attention to those bands.
Okay, got it.
And I was just grasping before you decided to expound on elephants there, that One Direction is a good example of that sort of created band.
But they created...
Oh, yeah, by Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell.
Yes, and he pulled them all together. My young son, who I've mentioned on occasion, really gets dirty when I call him One Dimension.
They were big. They were big. When I lived in the city, right near the Sydney Football Stadium, they played there. And on Saturday morning, they were doing a rehearsal, which we didn't know about, and my wife and I were heading off to go supermarket shopping, drove round the corner, and there was all these 11-year-olds in the street standing on cars, standing on top of each other, looking over the fence, because all the fences had material around them so you couldn't look through, listening to the sound check of One Direction. And then that night, the entire place was filled with cars from the eastern suburbs waiting to pick their daughters and children up from the One Direction concert.
Of course. Well, that's an anecdote that never gets old, is it?
Keeps on coming back.
Keeps on coming back.
And we love it.
Yeah, we're going to have to change the title of our podcast.
What Jeff did in the city. What Jeff did in the city.
What Jeff did in the city, or Mick and the Fat Man talking music and One Direction.
And One Direction. Jeff goes to the city. It's like a little set of books, isn't it? You know, those little like Mr. Men books.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Jeff books. What do you got?
Eric Clapton. Now, since
he's
we
a supergroup by himself.
That's right. He's got a trail of the bloody things. So, look, he started, since we started the episode and the season with Eric Clapton, it's probably useful to point out that he's been associated with 3 separate supergroups.
Not bad.
It's really quite an extraordinary collection. There's Cream, who you pointed out that Rolling Stone in 1966 labelled the first supergroup incorrectly, as later facts.
Hold on. What do you mean? Rolling Stone got something wrong?
I know, hard to believe, but they did. In fact, the first supergroup, by the definition that has come to be accepted, was the Four Seasons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in 1960, they were formed by people in key members of top New Jersey vocal groups. All got together to form the Four Seasons.
Oh,
so
there you go.
they were like the cream that all floated to the top. So that's where they got confused. Yeah,
they were the cream of the crop.
Indeed.
It's then they formed Cream. Not they didn't, but somebody else did.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Clear as mud.
So, Cream, Blind Faith was Clapton's second group.
Yep.
Which Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Stevie Winwood, who we loved as teenagers.
Loved Stevie Winwood.
He was great stuff. Ark of a Diver and some other stuff that he did.
Yep.
And he was also in Traffic and the Spencer Davis group, and his vocal on "Give Me Some Lovin'."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great muso. Great muso.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah. And Rick Gretsch, who was on bass, and he was in a band that was big at the time. You don't hear a lot about him these days, called Family. So apparently, legend has it that dragging Winwood into the group, Bruce had left Cream by then, so dragging Winwood into this group helped bring them to where Clapton saw where Cream should have been, with a good vocalist.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's a great vocalist. It's got some really standout tracks on it. Had to Cry Today, Sea of Joy, and Presence of the Lord, which I really like. It's a very slow bluesy sort of song.
Yeah, right.
Yep. The album had advance orders before they even put it out, 250,000 sales. But they buggered that up a bit.
Why?
By the cover of the album, for some godforsaken reason that I think you've managed to tie down some more information on it, featured a barely pubescent girl naked on the cover. Now, as for the reason for that, I don't know.
So I did. Thank you. Thank you, Mick, for pointing this out. I had a bit of a look, and the cover art, which depicts a young girl holding a silver plane, I guess is the airplane
Yep.
superimposed in front of a field, I guess you could say, was created by photographer Bob Sideman, and he was a friend and former flatmate of Clapton, who was primarily known for his photos of Janis Joplin and Grateful Dead in the 90s. And so they got him in to have a bit of a think about what to do for the cover. And according to him, this is a quote for him: "I could not get my hands on the image until out of the mist of a concept began to emerge, to symbolise the achievement of human creativity and its expression through technology. A spaceship was the material object. To carry this new spore into the universe, innocence would be the ideal bearer. A young girl, a girl as young as Shakespeare's Juliet. The spaceship would be the fruit of the tree of knowledge, and the girl the fruit of the tree of life." Anyway,
What a load of crap.
Sideman approached a 14-year-old girl, apparently in the London Underground, and went back and spoke to the parents about potentially using her as a model for the cover art. Turns out he thought, nah, she's a bit old. And then switched over to her sister, who in fact was 11 years old at the time, and whose name was Maria Gottchen. And lo and behold, she agreed to do a photograph for the album if they bought her a horse. Anyway, she never got the horse. She got 40 quid for the photo of her topless. Now, she is 11 years old, and the photo is of a topless 11-year-old holding a silver phallic spaceship. Now, in England, the photo was mostly controversial because of the spaceship that looked phallic and a young girl holding a phallus. In America, it was just
Everything.
Basically, it was just, it was a bit of Epstein action, basically. Not that he was around at the time, but
Inspiration.
He's thinking to himself, that Sideman's a smart bloke. I mean, not getting the 14-year-old. She was too old. Let's get that 11-year-old. So what happened to the sales once that album came out?
Well,
mate?
they vanished, all those pre-orders, particularly in the US. Most record shops, record stores refused to stock it and display it because of this picture on the cover. I mean, realistically, what sort of wanker? Who was in control of the quality control here? These days, you'd be thrown in jail for that.
Then the interesting thing is, she didn't seem to mind. She said, "I didn't even notice that I was. I didn't even notice that I had breasts. I was only quite young. I was too busy." And you can actually buy a autograph photo. A limited edition print with her and Sideman autographing the back of the print. So. Anyway, all a bit
11
weird.
years old,
11 years old.
Still a hit, but they redid the cover of a photo of the band in a church, believe it or not.
It was actually the back cover. They
Yes,
put that
that's
to the
right,
front.
yes, yeah.
And then on the back, they put the lyrics that were on the inside out. So it was a bit, I mean, anyway, there you go.
It's a bit of a shame that a controversy like that, a manufactured controversy, takes away from such a great album.
And all because of, yes, it was stupid. I mean, why would you do that?
That's right, yeah.
At some point, someone should have, the record company should have said, nah, boys, look, great photo. I think we might need to leave that off. Probably would have let that go out to the public.
Yeah.
How did it get through everybody?
That's right, yeah.
It's not. It wasn't just the photographer. Yeah. It wasn't just the band. The whole record company was involved.
Yeah, possibly a bit of chemical interaction there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass another one of those tablets over, will you, Bruce? It's still a hit in the US and the UK, number 1. Number 2 in Australia. Great album, but obviously, for all of the controversy, the band didn't go on. And so his third supergroup was Derek and the Dominoes.
One More Time with Feeling.
One More Time with Feeling, indeed. And Derek and the Dominoes is the band that spawned the famous graffiti in London.
What was that?
Derek is Eric and Clapton is God.
Brilliant.
So Layla is the name of the album. Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, which I happen to love also. I'm no big fan of Clapton, but funnily enough, I love all of his early work. I think it's just all wonderful stuff. Now, in that band was Eric Clapton,
yep,
Dwayne Allman,
brilliant,
yep, Jim Gordon, and Carl Radle. Now, some great tracks on this album too. Layla, Bell Bottom Blues, Tell the Truth, and obviously the whole album is just
sure,
really, really good. But by this stage, Clapton had fallen down the well of heroin addiction. He was a passenger. Yeah. And Dwayne Allman did the lead riff on Layla, the one that everyone says, "Oh, I love that Eric Clapton song."
I always thought it was Clapton as well.
Yeah,
always thought it was Clapton.
Yeah, Allman was.
Assumed. It was
Clapton. Yeah. Well, why not? You know, people. Yeah, let's leave that assumption that way, folks.
Yeah.
But Dwayne Allman then died subsequently in a motorcycle accident.
Senseless waste of human life.
Senseless waste. Jim Gordon.
What happened to him?
Yeah, well, he obviously had the makings of schizophrenia when the band was on. He in 1983 he murdered his mother and died in jail in 2023. Now that's a long time in jail, and I would suspect that is because they're not going to let him out because he's mad as a hatter,
mad as a cut snake.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's like 40 years.
Yeah,
in jail.
Yeah, I would suspect that he was in the medical wing.
Possibly, and by the time at 83, probably it would have. Well, in fact, he probably would have been an old burnt out schizophrenic by then. And
not 83 years old, but in 1983.
Oh, in 1983 went in. So so he would have been 60, 70, maybe 70 odd.
Probably younger than that. Yeah, this is a 1969 album. So he would have been maybe 30, 14 years later, mid-40s maybe.
When he went in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another 40 years later.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, he's a bit of a husk.
Yeah, so he's just, as I say, would have been... Because back in the day, they used to use a lot of antipsychotics, so high doses.
Absolutely.
And so after a while, you just end up as a burnt-out schizophrenic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which tardive dyskinesia as well.
The which?
Tardive dyskinesia. You get an involuntary...
That's you using your medical terminology again, isn't it? Well done.
It's an involuntary poking out of the tongue. So they get there and they poke their tongue out involuntarily.
Like that.
They go... Yeah, it's all a bit weird.
And just to round off the band, Carl Radle, long-term drug and alcohol addiction. Yeah, so...
What?
Carl Radle, the fourth member of the band.
Yeah.
His sentence was long-term drug and alcohol addiction.
Rock band.
Yeah, I know. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
Can't believe.
Hard to believe. Yeah, who'd have thought it? A 1960s rock band at that.
Had a problem with alcohol and drugs.
I know. Can't see. You wouldn't see it these days.
I thought most of them were addicted to salad sandwiches.
Of course they were. So Clapton's addiction, major league. It was a world class, successful guitarist.
World class addiction.
Absolutely. Yeah. So he retreated into himself. He withdrew from the business and only re-emerged in 1971 to play in the Concert for Bangladesh, which was organised by his one of his best mates, George Harrison.
Sure.
Yeah, so he came out. Look, he's playing. He wasn't one of the fabulous stars of Concert for Bangladesh, but he was there. He was clear-eyed, and he was on stage.
Yep. I think probably to this date, as far as a modernish sounding rock album, probably has the longest bit of sitar that you're ever likely to hear. One whole side of sitar on
Well,
the
that's
album.
what's missing from music these days.
Yeah.
I've often said I'm not impressed with the music these days, and that's because they've got no sitar, no grounding in sitars.
That's what you said to me about Kiss. You said I love a bit of Kiss, but I'd like one half of the whole album. Each album would be sitar.
Yeah, and
If
a
only
Ravi
Ravi-
Shankar impersonator
If only Ravi was around.
dressed in black and white makeup.
Yep,
Yep, that's what we want.
that'd be great.
It would be great.
Yeah. So I've watched the concert, and everybody's really getting groovy. Listen to Ravi. It's all very cool, man. Yeah. And I'm thinking after about 10 minutes, I'm thinking I've had enough. I don't think I'm quite culturally prepared for being a sitar listener.
That's right. It causes you to doubt yourself, doesn't it? If you're thinking, well, this is a bit much.
It's a bit much.
But this is a
Eric
cultural icon, this album.
George Harrison around somewhere? George, can you get Ravi off?
Moving right along. What about Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
in various incarnations, this band is very long-lasting. They were actually a band, Crosby, Stills and Nash, who were members of Buffalo Springfield, the Hollies, and the Byrds. Three of the biggest bands of the '60s had got together before Woodstock, where they invited the biggest concert ever in the world, their first concert, and they invite Neil Young to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Steve Stills has already kicked Neil Young out of Buffalo Springfield, so they don't get on.
No.
And yet, maybe this tension between the two of them sparked some great music, because Deja Vu is a fabulous album. It really is.
Brilliant album.
And I think you can lay a lot of that at Neil Young.
Yeah.
Because Neil Young's contributions are terrific. Not to say that he's the only one who's talented on the band. I think on the album, I think all of them were really, really good. But
their harmonies were just sensational.
Absolutely.
And you've got someone like Stephen Stills, who's right through his life was one of the great guitar players.
Yeah.
Fantastic guitar player.
Absolutely, yeah.
Both electric, acoustic. So, they really are a supergroup, really are. And they were all able to hold their own, basically, separately, and then together. Wow, what a team!
Yeah. And look, despite all the tensions around Woodstock and around Deja Vu, because Young ended up walking again.
Yeah,
but he's a bit of a prickly character. It's Neil Young's way or the highway. But he joined up with them periodically over the next 30, 40 years on occasion for special concerts and what have you. But the three themselves, Crosby, Stills and Nash, worked together up until Crosby's death in 2023.
Yeah.
So they got on well, they enjoyed playing together, and they made some great music.
Yeah, I still listen to Deja Vu on occasion.
It's a wonderful album.
It's
It
fantastic.
Really is.
Fantastic.
I'd put Deja Vu on a par with anything put out by Led Zeppelin, who are our next supergroup. There's a nice little segue. Did you like that?
Jesus.
Now,
Yes. I love Led Zeppelin because they sound so much like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
Not. Yeah. Look, people think, okay, well, Led Zeppelin, they're a big successful group, but by our definition, they too are a supergroup. You've got Page, who is renowned. If there was a single between 1963 and 1969 that Page didn't play on it, I've never come across it. Yeah. So Page was the session guitarist, as well as playing in the Yardbirds.
In England.
In England, yes, of course.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about music, of course.
Yeah.
Robert Plant and John Bonham were in a successful in England band called Band of Joy, but they were northern, so they weren't going to make it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And John Paul Jones, the same description as a session player that you give to Jimmy Page. John Paul Jones too was totally highly in demand session player, arranger, bassist, keyboardist, multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist. And this band, after coming together, they put 8 albums out, all with really different styles on. From the first album, which was a heavy blues influenced band, influenced bunch of songs, through to some acoustic stuff, which on Led Zeppelin 3, acoustic based. I mean, it's all got this heavy rock feel through it, but the instrumentation of some of the stuff on Led Zeppelin 3 is just really, really. Not, I won't say pastoral, because that's probably a bit of a reach, yeah. But certainly acoustic, and the way that they all played together, more Fairport Convention than Deep Purple.
And they put hobbits on the map, didn't they?
Oh, well, and why not?
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin 4, and I think we mentioned in a recent episode last year, we talked about Sandy Denny. And
that's right.
Playing on
Battle for Evermore.
Battle for Evermore. Thank you. Yes, I was going to say Ramble On. I couldn't get away from that.
Yeah,
Battle for Evermore and her wonderful, high pitched vocals, fantastic stuff. And that was a song totally about
the Battle for Evermore.
Well, a dream that Planted had about Lord of the Rings inspired characters.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, well, a dream.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because
that's the one. Because they never took any drugs,
and they never ripped anybody off. That's the main thing to remember about Led Zeppelin. Nothing was ever taken from anywhere else.
Well, that's a feature of Page's career that everything came out of his head.
Yeah, brilliant.
Or someone else's.
But they always credited it if they were sued.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
So fair enough.
Yeah. The band, look, they were highly successful musically and commercially. That's like the understatement of the week, that one. And I would say Led Zeppelin arguably created or helped bring about the category of heavy rock. There were bands who played some pretty solid guitar work, not a lot through the 60s, and not renowned. Even Clapton's work with Cream, dun, 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 that was at the edge of heavy.
Yeah, but still probably, yes, it was, without doubt. Very blues-based.
Yeah.
I think Zeppelin brought more of the rock, the modern rock view of the world, whatever we call rock. I think they kind of were instrumental in bringing it about.
I would think so. But any discussion, and we'll have this some other episode, really has to include other bands like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple in particular. You go back and have a listen to Machine Head. It's an awesome album. Yeah. But anyway, we're talking about Led Zeppelin, and they were instrumental in creation of heavy rock. And without heavy rock, we wouldn't have had the movie Spinal Tap. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Now, look, despite the fact that they are an entity in their own right, the three of them, Keith Emerson came from a band called The Nice, all of which were successful in the 60s. Greg Lake came from King Crimson, and Carl Palmer came from a really big band called Atomic Rooster. So all in the 60s they got together. A combination of heavy rock and progressive rock. Look, Emerson, the way he used the keyboards and the way he used the keyboard sound as part of a flamboyant stage show really set the stage for a lot of other bands through the 70s.
Yeah,
and things like throwing knives at his speakers, doing the circus knife show.
Well, I think what we're talking about here is we had Pete Townsend, destroying guitars, Jimi Hendrix, Townsend smashing into amplifiers and that sort of thing. This is just the next level.
Oh, absolutely.
Attacking with a knife.
It goes without saying, doesn't it? And it led to a lot of other bands in the mid-70s being seen on their record covers smashing implements. The cover of The Clash with Paul Simon on smashing his guitar over his shoulder and smashing it down on the ground.
Indeed. Indeed.
So, I personally find Emerson, Lake and Palmer way overblown.
But they're an interesting group. When you go from something like Lucky Man, oh, what a lucky man he was, to Fanfare for the Common Man, they're sort of still love Fanfare for the Common Man. Still can bring it up. But I love the film clip, which although it sort of doesn't really do that much, in that they're just in the Montreal Stadium playing it.
It's an empty stadium. Boring.
Still love it. I still love it. Well, the first bit of it until it goes into and then I think, time to go.
I like Greg Lake's guitar playing on that particular song. The way he does that, it's far better than his singing, which was really dull.
The other thing that's interesting is, I don't know, Carl Palmer.
Yeah.
He's touring this year. Now,
I told you the other day I've got us tickets already.
can't wait to see a whole concert of drumming. Ravi style.
He's got Ravi Shankar with him. And the guy from Yes.
What are you... Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Palmer, thank you. Brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Oh, God. 2.5 hours of Carl Palmer drumming.
He's a pretty good drummer.
He's a great drummer.
He's great.
2.5 hours might wear a bit thin.
Might be a bit much, yeah. Bad Company.
Ah, great band.
They were
One
fantastic.
One of my faves.
Yep. And again, they came from the cream of British rock, British blues-based rock at the end of the 60s. Paul Rodgers came from a band called Free, which split up after their lead guitarist Paul Kossoff overdosed.
Yeah, bad luck.
Yeah, which is a bit of a shame.
Yep,
Quite a shame, really.
Bit of a shame for him.
Absolutely. Mick Ralphs, who came from Mott the Hoople.
Yeah.
Again, quite a big band, who had a huge hit with Bowie's song, All the Young Dudes.
Great song.
Yeah, it sort of been reclaimed by Bowie in more recent years, but Bowie wrote it, felt he couldn't use it, and gave it to Mott the Hoople.
I saw something recently. They're a one-hit wonder. Is that the only hit they ever had, All the Young Dudes?
I believe so. In the same way as I like Mott the Hoople. They're a really interesting British rocky type band from the late 60s. They're a one hit wonder in the same way that Warren Zevon is a one hit wonder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. A lot of great stuff, but
never quite made it commercially.
Never. Well, as we've often said, there's not a complete nexus between the charts and quality.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Boz Burrell, who was in King Crimson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, King Crimson, I think if you had to be a musician in the 70s, you had to have been in King Crimson. Yeah, so that's what they did. They actually set the band
revolving door of musos.
Set the band up as a revolving door of musos. Yes, we'll train these guys up and put them out, and overall raise the quality of music.
Very noble.
I think that's very noble. And Robert Fripp,
he's still doing
to be commended. To be commended.
Him and his missus are still in the kitchen making music now.
Absolutely, yeah, and working with King Crimson.
Yeah, that's right, exactly right. But if you do get a chance on YouTube, you've got to pick up, search for Robert Fripp, and you'll find him and his missus every week or so. It's
a lot of fun.
What is it? Lunch with them or something? I can't remember now what it's called. Great fun though.
Yeah, just Robert Fripp and Toya Wilcox.
Yeah,
and you'll get a whole lot of stuff with them doing songs and. His inimitable guitar style. He's a guitar god.
And she's usually dressed up in some sort of slinky outfit and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
Yes, indeed. We've talked in some detail a couple of years back about the first Bad Company album called Bad Company.
Yeah.
You know, black with
white writing, raised
white writing, and it was lovely.
And there was a texture on the album. The whole album had a texture on the front of it.
Was there now? Okay,
Yeah.
an embossing type thing.
Yeah.
Rodgers has been long regarded as one of the best voices in rock and roll.
Yeah.
And that album is just awesome, as was their next one, Straight Shooter.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. After that, they weren't quite as good, but they were still good. You know, they went from absolutely fantastic to good.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad decline.
No, they were still good. Good album. Second album was good.
Yeah. And the single, Can't Get Enough, still gets people up and dancing. That drumming. That drum bit.
Did Paul Rodgers get nominated into the Hall of Fame for his singing?
I couldn't tell you.
Got something come up recently about him, I'm sure.
I think they have. Yeah.
We'll have to have a look at that.
I think there's a lot of questions and needs a massive investigation, that Rock and Roll Hall
Still
of Fame.
had a good voice up until relatively recently too.
Yeah,
a lot of the voices all fall off, but he still kept on going pretty well.
Yeah. It started great, so why not?
Yeah, I know, but a lot of them just shit themselves, don't they?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
Paul McCartney.
He can't really do it, can he?
No, he's got a drummer who does the whole high notes for him.
Of course he does. Yeah.
And when we saw Roxy, he had some singers doing all the high notes for him.
Yeah, his voice started to deteriorate, 15, 20 years ago.
Well, when did we see Roxy? That's a long
2001.
time. Yeah, that's 25 years ago.
Oh, bloody hell, yes it was. I missed a 10 in the, drop the 1 and carry the 5.
He only had like a 1 octave range by that stage, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly.
Poor bugger.
Now, it's about time for Australia to get a run in this Supergroups caper.
Yep.
And what about Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds?
What about him?
Which was when the birthday party, and we've had a good talk about the birthday party in the past.
We have.
About Nick Cave and Mick Harvey and so on. So when the birthday party imploded in London, from living in crumbling flats. Squalor, that's the one. Without heating in London winters. It'd be nice and bloody. So Cave formed a band with Harvey's help because Cave was still, to use the phrase we used earlier, in that deep well of heroin addiction.
He was in it for quite a long time, though.
He was in a real hole. And
he in fact, it was just normality for him, being a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, have a hit, go and do work, do a day's work.
Yeah, exactly right. But he and Harvey formed Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds when they came back from London, probably to get warm. And they
defrost.
That's right. They took people from the cream of that alternative. There's that word cream again, yeah. It all seems to fit, doesn't it? There's a thematic concept.
They knew something back in those days.
They did, didn't they? Blixa Bargeld from a German alternate band called. Here I go, in my best Sergeant Schultz voice.
Thank you.
Einstersender Neubauten. And as you've
I see nothing.
As you've pointed out, yes, I have pronounced that in a faux German accent, but it just doesn't sound the same when it's, I'll do it in an Australian accent. Einstersender Neubauten.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound any good.
Doesn't sound any good at all.
No, you've got to do it in Colonel Clink.
That's right, yeah. Exactly.
Or Sergeant Schultz, one of the two. I think Schultz is probably the better one.
Yeah, I think so.
Hogan.
Hogan. Barry Adamson from Magazine, which was a band that fell out of the Buzzcocks mix, and Hugo Race, who was a leading personality in a band called The Wreckery around the same time in Melbourne. Oh. So and the band since has become a revolving door for top grade artists from top grade bands. So it's a ongoing supergroup.
Oh yeah. Great. No, great stuff.
What about the Highwaymen?
Like the Highwaymen.
Yeah, they, as much as any band that we're going to talk about today, except for the next one, which also is, as much as any band we're going to talk about today, the Highwaymen really deserves this title of supergroup made up of established artists doing stuff together.
Can't get much more established than this lot in the 80s.
You cannot. Not Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, whose career started back with Buddy Holly in the late 50s, early 60s. Willie Nelson, whose career started, he was descended from Adam 2 or 3 generations, I think, Willie Nelson.
Yes. When Adam was about 600.
Yeah, I think, and he came on from there.
Yeah.
Before they invented records, they had Willie Nelson. And Chris Christopherson, who was also really, really good.
I
love him. He's great.
He's got really good songs, and he was also good in movies. He was a good movie actor as well.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could credit that, but I'll take your word for it.
Have a look. Very interesting.
They did 3 albums in the late 80s, 85, 90, 92 for The Road Goes On.
The only thing I don't like is that they didn't call the third one Highwayman 3.
I know, that's lack of imagination. You're on a winner, just do it.
Just keep on going, boys.
Yeah,
great band, good country sound, and fantastic people in the band.
And another band following them that kept up with this theme of naming your albums 1, 2 and 3 was Travelling Wilburys. Now, the provenance of the members of this band, you can't go any higher, I don't think.
All right, give it to us.
A Beatle, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, who again had worked at that international level with Bob Dylan, Jeff Lynne from a band called The Move and the Electric Light Orchestra.
Yep.
We don't like it, but millions of people did. And Roy Orbison, the Big O.
Top of the pops.
Yeah. So, and of course the Beatle is George Harrison.
Yes.
And look, this band, the level of success that they'd experienced before they did Travelling Wilburys, it was clearly obvious, and everything we ever saw of this band, it was obvious they were just having so much fun together.
And so they did Travelling Wilburys 1 and 2?
And 2, yeah.
Or 3?
No, I think it's 2. That's the typewriter slipped.
Ah, right. Because I would have loved it would have been 3.
That would have been good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, what an amazing lineup! What an utterly amazing lineup. The Big O, the beautiful voice of the Big O. Jeff Lynne, great muso. never been a huge fan of ELO, but still the same. He is a great muso.
Yep.
And Tom Petty, just
Long-standing.
brilliant muso.
Yes.
Brilliant muso. Bob Dylan, not familiar with his work. And George Harrison, not familiar. I think I heard one of his albums once. I mean, what a team! What a team! How do you get it? How do you get them together? I don't even understand.
Well, again, it was just one of those things where they met up at various places and said, "Let's have a bit of a play together."
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
they did, and it was just, "Handle Me with Care." That first single, that's just awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a great. They are really good. It's really good. This truly is a great travelling album. Great for long trips in the car.
Well, that's why they called it the Travelling Wilburys, so you
Isn't
can use
it?
it when you travel.
It works perfectly.
Absolutely.
Now we're getting out of time, mate. Can you wrap us up with a few other final words?
Got a couple of others, mate, and then I've got a little special one at the end.
Yeah, go.
The Honey Drippers, which interesting combination of people. Plant and Page, of course. Jeff Beck and Nile Rodgers from Chic, he who was responsible for the deterioration of Bowie's quality through the 80s.
Anyway.
The Firm with Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I think again some other 60 seconds maybe, but circumstances combined to get in the way of that one, and Plant then didn't help by suggesting to Page that they get together and record Unleaded, which is the acoustic-based Led Zeppelin album recorded in Morocco.
I like that.
It's very good. It is very good, but that put an end to the Firm.
Yeah, I mean it's it's an unplugged sort of thing, but it's not very unplugged.
Exactly.
We'll just move on, shall we?
Yeah, well, no, and look, the Moroccan drums, because I was listening to it on the way up.
And lots of little instruments.
Yeah. And they do Kashmir which
Brilliant.
just finishes out with Moroccan drums, and it's just so powerhouse. It's
fantastic.
It's sometimes live albums, particularly unusual ones like that, can be a bit but that's as good as the first recorded version.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it.
Them Crooked Vultures, which was Dave Grohl, who we've heard of, Josh Homme, who's the leader of Queens of the Stone Age, and John Paul Jones from Zeppelin.
Brilliant.
And that album, my nephew put me onto that back in 2009, and it's just awesome. They keep threatening to bring another one out, but 16 years on, let's see. Maybe not.
Okay. Power
Station with Robert Palmer and Andy and John Taylor from Duran Duran.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was it's a super sophisticated band, and clips with lots of beautiful women in them, that sort of thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. And something a little different.
Yeah.
Gabby from LA
Yeah.
put me onto this one. She sent me a message. If you're thinking of doing supergroups,
Yeah.
which just so happened that I was thinking of doing supergroups,
Yes.
and she said, have a look at Me First and the Gimme Gimmies.
Great name.
It is a great name. It's an LA band that I'd never heard of. I thought, oh, what? And she says, it's a punk supergroup. Because she's a bit into that punk sort of music.
Good on her.
Yeah, featuring members of the Ramones, a highly successful punk band called NoFX, and the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're taking on that King Crimson role and sort of seeding quality out through the rest of the music industry.
I have to listen to that. I haven't heard of them.
You should, yeah. Have a listen, yeah. Get Spotify or Apple and just say play Me First and the Gimme Gimmies. They play middle of the road conservative radio station stuff. Yeah, bit of Beatles.
Oh yeah,
Jolene by Dolly Parton. Yep.
What, as a punk song?
As a punk song, yeah. And they've got 6 albums.
Really?
Worth of this stuff, and they do an absolutely spectacular version of "Nothing Compares to You," the Prince Sinead O'Connor song,
yes.
and it's a cod reggae type of sound, a bit like the Police might have produced back in their day.
I've got to hear that,
and it is
That'll
just great. It
well,
really
if they
is.
ever come to Australia, we're going to go and see them.
I think we are. Yeah,
definitely.
Yep. So that's good. There'll be a fair bit of that in the playlist because I just loved it. So enjoy that, won't you, folks?
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will say thank you very much. Welcome to 2026, and we will see you next time.
Well, folks, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're enjoying this, tell your friends. songs about us.